I heard the best part of being an artist is it's cathartic. So I beg your pardon as I involve you in my catharsis, because to me it's the hardest. I hate telling my business, but I can't afford to shrink, so I'm just hoping that you listen. I really don't like dealing with emotions, or finding my demons to expose them, or finding old wounds to reopen, but that may be the only way to closure.
What's going on, everybody? It's AJ, Opulent Public Relations and Event Management. Here today interviewing Dallas recording artist B. Hardy for the Opulent Living Off Top blog.
Yeah.
Make sure you tune in, OpulentLivingOffTop.com, and check it out. But I want to first thank you for coming out today and taking out some time out of your day to sit with me.
No doubt, man.
You know, I had peeped you. I've been bumping into you a lot, you know what I'm saying? And you stood out to me because you're not like the rest of the people I've been bumping into in Dallas. So I'm like, checked out the music. I'm like, it's different. I like how you perform a lot with those live bands.
Yeah.
So, you know, what we do at Opulent is put the spotlight on people who we feel is overlooked, you know, because it's a lot of people who get slept on.
True
So
that.
I wanna wake some people up. I feel like today is a lot of waking up that need to happen. So my first question is, where were you in life when you knew you wanted to be a part of this music industry?
God, I think I was in college. You know, they say you go to college to find out what you want to be. And so I realized in college that I was like, man, I care more about music than I care about like anything, because that's where I started rapping. So I recorded my first verse. You know, people were receptive to it, and it was like, man, I really enjoy this. And so then it turned into a mixtape. You know, so then it's like, well, I think I don't need to be paying these people anymore. So it's like, so I brought my ass home, and I mean, it's been like, I've been pushing forward with it since then. So it's been like 06, and that's pretty much where I was in my life. It was just like finding my place in the world. You know? So that's really what that
hip hop
came down
or
to.
rap being the first choice that you decided, or did you like try promoting or anything like that?
I went straight to rapping. When I was a kid, my mom wrote poetry, and she'd have me do readings and stuff. So I wrote poetry, and so like hip hop was kind of a logical step because I don't sing very well. You know, this is before auto-tune was the thing. Yeah. If I came up in the auto-tune age, I'd probably be a singer right now.
So how long have you been doing this?
Oh man, it's coming up on 8 years.
8 years deep.
Coming up on 8 years, yeah.
Who were some of the inspirations that influenced you and leading you to where you are now? Artists that you like or you listen to coming up?
Coming up, it was weird. It's like listen to Bone Thugs and Harmony a lot. You know, when it was like I didn't really get on Jay-Z until maybe shit, it may have been Blueprint. I didn't get on Jay-Z, and Jay-Z was like a big part of hip hop. Speaking to me, Eminem, the guy. It was like it was so crazy to me what he could do with words, and like the way he could make so many words rhyme inside of a rhyme. It was just like, it was insane. And then from the South, so he had UGK already.
Yeah.
And so I got my shit. I think Riding Dirty was on. I got my first car. That was the first CD I had, and I was riding dirty hard. And UGK made me feel like a drug dealer.
So from 8 years deep, describe, you know what I'm saying, the growth from then to where you are now, some of the, the experiences and trials and tribulations you've been through. For 8 years, that's a lot of time.
I mean, 8 years is a lot of time, to find out who's real, who really wants this, because, this game takes patience.
Yeah.
I mean, especially now. It doesn't seem like it to people who are watching, but, everybody's had their respective struggles. So, I mean, like, I've lost friends, I've lost money doing this shit. But as far as, like, personal growth as an artist, I attribute it to my growth as a person. I don't care about the same things I cared about when I was 21. You know what I mean? I don't care about the same things I cared about when I was 25. It's just so, and that's reflected in the music. I mean, like, you go through something like when I was 25 and, my star was on the rise in the city. And And then I got shut down with, with illness, and next thing I know, I got people digging at my vocal cords trying to get stuff off, like, getting biopsies left and right, just trying to make sure I don't have cancer even. It's like, it puts life in a different perspective, and I think that led the music back to a different place. So, that 2.5-year hiatus, there was a lot of soul searching and, a lot of opportunity to give up that I didn't take.
What did you learn, or what made you better through the 2 years of being, out of service, or, out of the way?
It gave me a chance to really listen and understand what I want as a musician. I don't even refer to myself as a rapper much. I introduce myself as a musician, or as as an artist, a music artist. And as far as everything else, it's like, you get to look, and you actually get to, when you're on the sideline and you watching how everybody's playing the game. It's like you formulate strategies. It's like, man, it's like that. It's like D Rose. He tore his ACL, and all that time he spent in that suit, he was like, man,
observing.
Yeah, he's like, man, when I come back, I got something for every last one of these motherfuckers. I mean, and that's what it comes down to, because you realize the holes that were in your game when you can't play, because you're not thinking about what you got to do, in the game.
Yeah.
I mean, not right away. So, there's more time for planning, and, my whole thing is about projects are becoming, more albums. Like, I did a lot of mixtapes, rapping over other people's beats, and it's kind of a zero-sum equation, because it's like, people know who you are, but, like, what you gonna perform? It's like, and it's disposable, because once the songs you were rapping over the beats to get old, they don't care about you rapping to the beats no more.
Yes.
So it's like, I got an opportunity to put, together more original material, and definitely make sure that it was all straight from the heart. Now I had time to present it exactly the way I wanted to. I was like, I wish I had a copy of Psycho here with me, where it's like, that thing was painstakingly put together. Like, I did credits, and I transcribed all the lyrics, and I got a 12-page booklet that comes with the hard copy. Like, it's like, the
really?
shit is real.
It come with the download.
Yeah, it does. So when you get off the website, there's a digital booklet. It says Psycho. It's a PDF file. You click into that, and it's like the whole booklet.
I'm gonna have to check that out.
But yeah, and that was another thing. It's like, man, it's like, we want to make sure everything is as accessible to everybody that we can afford. So.
Well, speaking on Psycho, your last project, I actually downloaded it. I got to check it out. I went on the site, seen the performances and stuff. Let's talk about Psycho. I mean, for me, in the listener's perspective of Psycho, that's some real deep. You was going through things in life. You could tell that you're a real person.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It wasn't no popping bottle talk. It wasn't no make it rain talk. It was like real stuff that people really go through. Struggles in your head, struggles with your health. Yeah. Speak on Psycho. Like, what does Psycho even stand for?
As an acronym for personal secrets you couldn't hear otherwise. And I remember I always wanted to call my next mixtape Psycho, even back when Rabbi 5000 came out. And but life made it into something more personal. It just made it into something closer to me. Psycho is really all about getting back to zero. You know what I mean? Like, when you bottom out, you find the bottom. Just like when you looking up at zero, you got a tough road ahead of you. And like I said, that was during all of the time I had all of those opportunities to give up. That's kind of where Psycho was born from, because it wasn't just my health. In my personal life, I was having issues. And so I think the thing that, it was so personal that it became relatable. It's just like, man, I can't be the only person this has ever happened to. Yeah. So I gotta say something about it. Plus, studio time is a lot cheaper than therapy.
Yeah. And I mean, when you listen to music of that sort, I feel like music is supposed to be feelings. Music is supposed to make you get through times in life where, if you're an artist, what you're saying should touch somebody else and maybe help a person get through the same thing
Exactly.
that they're going through. Let people feel like you said, that I'm not the only person going through stuff like this.
I mean, it's like getting a musical hug down here, but like but seriously, and it's like if if I'm not gonna be the person who changes the world, maybe I just kept the person who is gonna change the world on the right path. Maybe he didn't give up because he heard that I didn't give up.
It's all about touching people, man.
Exactly, and art in general should always be about eliciting an emotion, or at least making you think about your current situation, like holding up a mirror to people and say, hey, this is me, but this is you too. Do you like what you see?
Who are some of the people you got on Psycho?
Psycho is and I was really selfish with that record, man. I didn't even have any rap features, but Cash Skywalker came in. He was a lifesaver. Came and did a couple hooks for me. I'm gonna be doing a lot more work with him. He's just he's got this soulful voice, and he's a hell of a rapper too. So, and then I had my girl Kai come in, and she was on Thinking Out Loud. Give Me Your Love was like my all of the lights, because it's like 11 it's like 11 people on that thing. Keith Jacobs came through and he did Catharsis, which is surprisingly for me, it was a lot of people's favorite record on there, because that one was where I was really just like, I dug all the way through my soul.
Yeah, I actually like that track.
And it's like, man, I don't even know if I won't even say this now that I hear it. It's like, now that I heard it, it's like, maybe we should go back and redo this record. It was one of those. Let's see, who else is on the album? Let's see, Rodney J came through, Save My Ass. My boy Robbie Blackwell on Gone. That was that was one of the first records I did for the project. And that was just perfect. I feel like it was, because it allowed me an opportunity to tell a story, and then have it start lighthearted and just see where things could turn and why they could turn. So it's and he brought all of that to me. He brought the track to me. He brought the hook to me, the concept. I was like, okay.
Who are some people that you would want to work with on future projects? They could be mainstream. They could be people people who you just, they don't gotta be real big or nothing. Just people who you would like to work with through your career in the music industry.
I have, man, that list is so long. We'll be here all night just answering that question, man.
All right, give me your top 5.
It's like, man, it's like, see the influences question. Seriously, man, I get this idea in my head of doing a record with Eminem and Crazy Bone. That just seems like the most fun time in the world for me. And see, also, it's like there's a girl in London, Ellie Goulding, who I am in love with. I don't even know what she looks like, but I'm in love with her. Love her damn music, man. Let me see. Who else is a guy? St. Louis, Rockwell Knuckles. We both been fans of each other, and we're hoping to get to work together soon. And there's a lot more, especially like around here. There's so much talent in the backyard. It's just like, man, you can just go sit around anywhere and find somebody. It's like, if I ever need somebody to sing something, I just go to a Profit Bar on a Wednesday night.
Yeah.
and just wait for the sound I like.
You got a lot of hidden gems here in Dallas. Like, they're not the ones that you hear of on the radio, which the radio don't play a lot of Dallas artists anyway, but you don't hear them or you don't see them a lot. But I've been running into, like yourself, I've been bumping into a lot of pure musician, hip-hop heads. I'm like, where have you been?
Right, and it's crazy, and it's weird because there's this underground flip thing that's happening right now in Dallas, I think, and it's being spurred on by the media. As far as your D magazines and your Dallas Observers, your Dallas Morning News, it's like they're starting to look at that underground hip hop thing, and I think that's gonna be beneficial. It's just, you got to go find these people.
I think hip hop as a whole
As
is
radio,
getting a lot of more exposure than it has been. I think a lot of people are really learning that the stuff that we hear and see on the radio, too many people can't relate to that stuff right now.
Mm-hmm.
In the times in life.
I was like, I've been driving a truck for a year that the radio doesn't work in it. I don't feel like I miss shit. I
listen
mean,
to CDs all day or iPod.
I got my headphones and my phone, and we just keep going.
So, tell me some highlights in your career this far. Thus, things that you're just proud of.
I think, the thing I'm proud of the most, to this point, is Psycho and the reception that it got. Because, like I said, we put this together ourselves. And the crew was a lot bigger before I went down. So it's like, man, it's like 4 of us, and we're putting together this big ass release party. We putting together this, this whole album packaging situation. It was just like, and the reception for it was just so, like, it was more than anything. Even, in my wildest egomaniacal dream, could have imagined. It was just like, man, the motherfuckers are really checking for me right now.
Yeah, like they messing with me, okay.
Right, it's like, wow, man. It's like, what are y'all gonna do when I stop being sad?
No.
Like, then it's really gonna be a party.
So the flip side to that, of course, give me an embarrassing moment, something that you like, man, this really happened.
I don't know, man. I don't really embarrass that easy. It's just like, I don't really have a lot of ego for embarrassment. Like, if something happens, it's just like, oh well. Yeah, it's just like,
Happened, so
keep
what?
going. Shit. I feel like shit. I haven't been embarrassed enough to where it's like I gotta hide my mama from the internet or nothing. So,
Like, mama cannot see this.
I get some NSFW pictures of me leaking on fucking Baller Alert or some shit. Then we got a
It's
problem.
like, TMZ, don't get on TMZ in a bad way, huh?
Yeah, you know what I mean. It's like, mom, just don't get on the internet for a couple days.
Was there ever time, outside of the time where you were out, was there ever, or maybe that might be it, was there ever a time where you were like, you know what, I quit. This ain't for me. I'm done. Start filling out job applications because I'm not rapping any longer.
Right, it's like that. My thing with that is always the school application. It's like, man, start looking into financial aid and
I'm about to be a
trying
lifetime student.
trying to figure out like how many of my credits can I still use. Man, that shit happens a lot. Because sometimes things just don't go the way you want them to. The way I think they should go, just because there may be something greater on the other side of that. As I said, it's hard trying to stick with it.
What keeps you moving? What's your motivation?
Man, I feel like as far as my motivation, I just want to be able to just keep making music. That's enough of it. Just like, I feel like if I had all the money I ever needed, I'd make music, because that's what, that would be my hobby. Like, if I was a billionaire, I'd make music. So I feel like that's the thing that makes me happy. And that what motivates me is to be able to do that full time. That's the goal, to be able to support myself off of making music and art. And music's not even the only thing I'm into, because we've got the fashion over at Dream State. As far as the streetwear goes, I'm working on some video production stuff. So writing a movie.
Yeah, so you can't really call yourself an artist, right, all around the board.
Right, yeah. So right now, I paint as a hobby. So
That's what's up.
So it's like, man, I'm all about art, and I just feel like that's like the shit that just keeps people sane.
What are some keynotes that you've taken from your experiences in this entertainment industry, or the industry that you could, pass on to somebody else?
The first one is always going to be, if you really believe in what you're doing, don't back away from it. Don't change to try to fit in. You just got to continue to be yourself. And if, people are looking at you weird, it's cool because they're looking at you.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So it's like, that along with just, you always want to make sure that you know what's going on. I've never been, my team is really small because I need to be able to communicate with them, and I keep around as many people as I can trust, and it ain't that many.
Yeah,
And so,
I never understood, like, just in life, the packs. I always was a firm believer of those who run in packs. When they by themselves, they look whack.
right.
Like, I'm not a pack runner.
Right, I mean, and it's like, man, you gotta be comfortable in your own skin, like, and you got, but like as far as with music, you gotta have people around that you trust. And like, I don't know any yes men, you know. It's like, man, we have a meeting every weekend, and it's like, okay, what's the latest thing? Let's talk about how we can make it better. And it's how we can make it better, how we can make it better until it's perfect, because we can't do shit with good enough.
Dig that. What are some things in the industry, especially the Dallas market, some things that you see that you like, man, that ain't right, that you dislike?
I mean, we touched on it a little bit earlier with the radio thing, so it's like, I mean, I think that's gonna always be there, and I never really worry about it, but as far as, one thing I really don't like, I don't like how we go abroad looking for things, like, as far as the fans, I think the fans still, like, they're waiting to be led by somebody else, and I think, if you look in the city, you'll find whatever you were looking for in Atlanta, in Houston, in Cali, wherever. It's like, so it's the fans, they're not used to it yet. It's like we're developing a culture here, and they're still sort of, they're hesitant to, to latch on because they don't know what's gonna happen.
Yeah, I see that everywhere. Like even with where I'm from one of the states who's big on music, but they don't. The home people seem not to be very supportive of the talent at home. Like good or bad, it's like they can't get nobody to come out, or if they do come out, they want to get in for free.
Wow, God.
They want you to give you the music. Like the home doesn't support home, but yet let Jeezy come in town, which he comes here a lot. He sells out every time.
Right, I was like, man, you got folks you paying to go see in your own city that come here, that perform here, more often than I do. There's a reason I don't do that. There's a reason I don't do that many shows, man. It's like, man, I got this art show coming up that I'm performing at, but it's like I'm trying to do. You have to kind of change the locale of it to even make it feel like they should go, because they're like, yeah, I can see it. I think what it is that I can see that nigga anytime. Not realizing that 2 Chainz has been here like 6 times this year.
Hey, Jeezy and yo guys stay here.
I was like, I love them dudes, but at the same time, you keep giving them your money, and we could use some of that too.
Define hip hop. What is hip hop to you?
Man, that's broad, man. I mean, to me, I think just as a whole, hip hop is just an expression, of emotion from people who were really left to fend for themselves. Hip hop is, no matter how you express it, whether it's, whatever your medium is, if it's hip hop, it's just like that voice of people who, like I said, were forgotten, left to fend for themselves. They were left, left for scraps.
With nothing.
Right. The people who are out here hustling, whatever their hustle is, just trying to be seen, to be recognized, to be somebody's constituency. Like, shit, DC don't look at the hood unless, they need them votes.
Man.
And shit, I'm in Texas, it's a red state, so they don't even bother with us.
Yeah, just
policy ain't got nothing to do with us down here. But, hip hop is where we get to vent our frustration.
I mean, I think a lot of people get rapping and hip hop mixed up. Like me personally, I feel like hip hop is a lifestyle. It's a way of living.
Exactly.
It's more than just music. Like you don't have to rap or express yourself through speech to be hip hop.
Right, man. I think I feel like like I said, hip hop is just that underdog. It's that underdog mentality. It's like how many different ways you know how to make ramen noodles. That's hip hop, nigga.
You put some cheese
You know
in
what I'm
it.
saying? You put some cheese.
Hot dog in it.
tuna fish. It's like whatever. And like that's the scraps that you've been given. What you do with it, like thrifting is like so hip hop to me.
It's like how many ways you could flip one
Right,
thing.
right. Sampling, same like in the music. Sampling, it's like how many ways can you flip this one sample? Oh, he flipped it like that, but I like that song. I think I can do it better. It's just like that's what hip hop. That's how like hip hop music itself started. It was like they were rapping over breaks to these old school records. And like so, that's what hip hop is. It's just really like making something out of nothing, like the hip hop culture itself. It's just like doing whatever you can with what you got to just keep yourself happy.
Just make it through the struggle.
Right.
What are some of the most important aspects to consider before you embark on a career in the music industry or just in entertainment as a whole?
I mean, the first thing you gotta ask yourself is, what are you doing it for? Right? It's like, man, you got so many people, they get disillusioned by what they see on TV or hear. It's like, man, I just want to do that so I can make that money. It's like, nah, cuz you got a better chance of making it to the league. You go pick a ball up or something with that shit. I mean, just how much do you love it? How much will you sacrifice for it? If you got nothing left, like, will you still do it, or will you say, hold on? It's like, how hard are you working on your backup plan? Like, that's the type, like, because the backup plan to me, I think it's just a cop out. It's like, man, I ain't got that much time to work on my backup plan because I'm spending all my energy on this. My backup plan is to adjust.
Sure, I don't know, but you got some people who would think you're crazy for not having a backup plan.
Maybe, but I mean, my backup plan is just gonna be, something that's gonna make money. Like, and it's not gonna make me happy like this would. So why even bother? Like, I feel like this is my purpose.
So you're a firm believer in doing what you love?
Right. This is my purpose for being here. So why the hell would I even like bother putting myself through all of that? Like, to, go work for somebody, go do some shit like that, and then and not even like be happy.
Yeah.
Like, not fuck that.
Going to work every day just to go to work and get a check.
Saying, like, I can do that. I do that right now. I go to work every day, and I get paid every week, and I pay my bills, and I invest money into my music careers. So it's like, this is that's what I work for. Shit. So I mean, so you tell me, you got the backup plan. I guess it's smart if if all you care about is money.
How do you cope with knowing that? I mean, all right, we know this music industry is more about money versus message. A lot of artists who have those messages that don't get heard, but that the people that in charge don't want others to know. Like, you're an underdog off top being a different artist. So how do you work that out? And
that's when you gotta start speaking in code. So it's like you gotta disguise it as a turn-up record when you motivating people. You know what I mean? That's when you gotta use, like, you have to be more creative. I mean, I think if you make dope shit that the people aren't gonna let it go by the wayside. It's like if you get it to enough of the people, the other motherfuckers, those powers that be, they'll have to notice. Because, at that point, they're going to want to exploit it anyway. So, I mean, it's really all about being as dope as possible and then connecting to as many people as you can. To me, anyway. Connecting to as many people as you can, just because they're the most important people.
All right, this is a juicy one. All right. You got the option. Somebody come to you. I can make you famous. Put this money behind you. Everybody will know you. You'll be brushing shoulders with Jay-Z, Nas, all them people who are on TV, BET Awards, MTV Awards, or you got the opportunity to, you got this smaller fan base, but your message is getting heard by genuine people. Which one? You want to be, what I'm saying? You take the fame?
I don't even like the idea of fame like that. Like, that's too much pressure for me. Like, it's like being under a microscope and having all these people on like a social anxiety disorder. Fuck that. I'll take the core fans that are actually listening to what I'm saying and actually caring about me and that are real people than I would about being famous and just having a shitload of imaginary friends.
Man. So what's next with you? You already got Psycho. I did nice. I did some.
Right,
you
yeah,
brought
Psycho,
your
like I
awareness
said,
back
Psycho
up.
did so crazy. Like I did, took like 25,000 downloads in that joint. It was just off my site, like off my website. You know, we didn't have a lot of placements for that. It was like, it was kind of one of those that everybody was gonna wait and see. You know, and then so now that they've seen, is everybody's like, what's next? What's next?
Yeah. So what's next? What you got coming out?
I'm working on a new project. I'm not ready to release the title yet, just because it's far enough away that I don't want the title jacked and bastardized by some fucker. But there will be a new project out in spring 2014, and it's going to be different from Psycho in that it won't be as, you know, I don't have a reason to be as down. Like I said, Psycho was about getting back to zero. So, you know, now we're looking up at the stars, and that's
Some
what
party music.
Yeah, man. And now it's time to
Popping some bottles and throwing some ones.
No. I can't afford that yet. That part I can't afford. I don't know, because I don't want to say it and then people expect me to do it. Like if I go to the strip club, like everybody's gonna be expecting me to do something crazy, and I was like, yeah.
Party's here.
I get paid Tuesday, so I can't even.
They ain't gonna do the Players Club. Parties in the building. The lights go out. The
No, man. But it's like, man, you know. But people party, like everybody that parties, like let's see something. They work, you know. Like where is your soundtrack? Where, you know? So this is what that's about now. It's like I said, it's always about being real and connecting to real people, and you know, it's like, yeah, it's a party record, but this is why we party. You know, this is what we celebrate. And so I wanted to be more about that than, you know, about the excess. You know, as far as the music, it's gonna be super excessive anyway. You know, as far as just I got so many ambitions with this project, as far as types of tracks and live instruments, and you know, I'm working with a band, so I gotta bring a band in, and you know, it's really more about just the feeling. I just like the whole album. I feel like it's gonna feel like winning. Like, you know, what's more fun than winning?
Man, hey, shit.
Yeah,
Everybody
I mean,
want to win.
Exactly. So that's what this next thing is about. It's just like, man, you just gotta feel good about it. That's why it's coming out in the spring, because it's the perfect time to start popping off. It's like, yeah,
It's nice outside.
right. It's nice outside. It's not. I ain't got nothing to worry about. And what I do worry about, we'll worry about it tomorrow. But right now we win. You know what I mean? so that's where we're going with this next project, and I just think like the way it's coming along so far, man, it's like everybody's gonna be in for a big treat, man, big surprise too. Because I'm just like, I'm coming.
Shout outs. You want to shout out a couple people who helped you along your way, who's been there when nobody else was. People
man.
who, you know, you can even shout out some people like shit list shout out. I don't care.
I don't really have no shit list. Like, that's my thing. Like, I don't have enough. You know, like, I don't know. I don't think I spend enough time out to really have no beef with nobody, which is always good for me. So if I need something from somebody, I can still hit them up and be like, yo, you know, you want to do this? I ain't got to worry about like, did I fuck this motherfucker over? But no, shout out to my family. You know, like I feel like my team is close enough that they family, man. You know, so. Phantom P, DJ Shide, and Jay Rhodes, who I'm gonna be working with heavy on this next project. Shout out to my family. Shout out to all the homies, that are out here working in this industry. Shout out to my boys, you know, Keith Jacobs, Ace Mitch, man, Cass Skywalker, Roddy J, like everybody. I know I said the names once before, but these people are amazing artists, you know, and I want people to really, really get a good look at them. Man, this is gonna be what we're building here in this city. I think is gonna be, it's gonna set the foundation for years to come. Oh shit! Shout out to Dream State. I'm gonna get fired for that shit. Shout out to Dream State, Dream State Apparel, thestateofdream.com. Also, if you haven't been, go to my website, throwawayRhymes.com.
I was just about to tell you, sound off where people could find your music, reach you, your Twitter, your Instagram, Facebook, so they can go put that like button up.
Yes, sir. Throwawayrhymes.com is like the nexus of all of that. Like you can get to my Twitter, my Facebook, my Instagram. There's an Instagram feed on there. You know, it's a Facebook like button. If you don't want to just do all that extra, just hit the like. It'll like my fan page on Facebook, and email addresses on there if you want booking or feature inquiries. You know, I'm about to be doing. That's another thing. In 2014, I'm coming for everything. I think in 2010, I did 57 features.
Damn.
Yeah, I'm trying to beat that next year.
What they what's the percentage of income paid features versus the ones you just did on Love?
Right. That's the problem. You know, it's like a 20% paid. I like to. I don't want to go to work anymore. If you guys, would like to pay me, that'd be awesome.
Yeah, help brother out.
You know what I'm saying? Like, hey, if you're selling a CD, I feel like I should get paid. That's all I'm saying. Mm-hmm. everybody's like, I do stuff on Love. Such a, if I like a record, it's like, man, I'm not gonna turn this down because, he ain't got the money, but at the same time,
That's the hip hop part of it.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, it's like, man, it's like this is gonna be dope. I ain't turning that shit down, man. Fuck that. It's like I want to get paid, but it's like, man, sometimes it's just. Now, if you hit me up and you ain't talking about paying, and I don't really care for your record, it may take a while, if ever. I mean, just being real with it, it's like, man, I tell you, it's like, hey, this is what I don't like about it. I don't think maybe we should try something else.
So, any last words? Last words.
Last words? Somebody gonna walk up and shoot me in the back of the head?
No, not last words in life. Just last words for the interview, yo. I got your back.
I was gonna say, yo, you're supposed to be watching my back, dog. But straight up, man. Shout out to OpulentPR and donation, man. This is I'm glad to have the opportunity to just come sit and chop it up with y'all. I don't know what all we're gonna use, but whatever, man. It's gonna be. Like I said, just keep watching. Keep watching Throwawayrhymes.com. Just keep watching the internet. It's gonna be keeping people posted. Because it's about to get crazy. Like I said, I've got access to some money. So I didn't have before, and everything. Since everybody's doing it, everything's getting cheaper.
Yeah. It's one good thing about everybody trying to do something. They gotta drop them prices.
Yeah, the prices. So the prices for high quality come down. So more videos. Like, man, I got a round of videos I want to do for Psycho, just like as a series. Even before the next joint comes out, and then I got treatments. I got like a stack of treatments at the crib. Like,
you said a word that I haven't heard too many artists say. Treatments. What's a treatment? I know what a treatment is, but
yo, no, like, look, if you're serious about your music, you have to know. I feel like you got to know as much as you can about the industry. Don't just show up to make a video with a camera and 6 homeboys, man.
And a bunch of girls in booty shorts.
Right. Oh yeah. Well, they can stay.
I want to see the booty shorts.
The booty shorts girls can stay.
It was a nice interview. I'm looking forward to hearing more stuff and seeing the art and just the growth. Your growth as a brand. I see you're more than just an artist. You got a brand going. You got a fashion. You got the music. You got the paintings. It's just a well-rounded person. So I'm always a supporter of those who are about growth and just doing the out of the normal stuff.
Right. I just want to contribute something to the world. I feel like you live forever by influence.
She just goes a little mad sometimes.
What I want to keep doing.
Well, there you have it, people.
We all go a little mad sometimes.
Sit down with B Hardy. Make sure you go check out that site.
Haven't you?
OpulentPREM.com.
Be on the lookout for new music from him and more things to come.
Fresher than your average. Niggas think they swaggin'. I'm killing them bastards. He's the main attraction. They're just a distraction. Fuck they game up like replacement reps. They scared to pass him. They won't get no action, cause I'm flyer than NASA. Them niggas know. To catch up or cut the mustard, they gotta whip up a miracle. I'm stereo, killer dope. On some Norman Bates shit. Digested bananas on their ass. I'm going ape shit. On the road to riches, moving faster than the flow.